Jhin is one of the best ADCs right now. If you don't count those dumb mage bot laner, he's the 4th best ADC, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But someone suggested to me that I try him mid, and I'm always up for an off-meta pick, so I had to try him out, and he was perfect for that mid lane. He's great at early 1v1s, he scales faster since you aren't sharing XP, and his ult is good for roaming since it's such long range you don't even have to go all the way to the lane, or you can just kill the enemy while they think they're safe under their tower. There are some downsides to it. He is still relatively useful against tanks, but I kind of guess that goes with wherever you play him. He is very immobile and he relies heavily on his movement speed, so he's kind of weak against like assassin types, so he can be a bit vulnerable to some of the picks in the lane. But other than that, I think he's pretty fantastic, and if you don't know what Jhin does, here's what perfection looks like in a kit. His passive is a perfection of 4. Jhin has 4 shots before he has to reload, and his 4th shot will always crit, dealing missing health damage. Jhin also won't gain attack speed, it's just converted into AD. He also has another boost to his attack damage based on his level from 4% to 44%, and his crit chance is also converted into bonus AD. He also gains bonus movement speed when he crits. His Q is duck, duck, duck. Jhin will shoot out a grenade, it will bounce to 4 targets, and if it kills the target, it deals bonus damage to the next target that it hits. His W is the thinnest line known to man. This will shoot out a projectile that will deal damage to anything in that line, but does stop at enemy champion. If the enemy recently took damage from your allies, or you deal damage, or they stepped on one of your traps, then the enemy will be rooted. His E is the flower bear trap. It's basically a deterrent for going to a certain place since it takes so long to actually blow up, but it does slow targets in that zone and gives you the ability to root with your W. Now his ult is the long range wombo combo. This will pull up Jin's rifle, and of course he gets 4 shots because that's perfection. And when you fire it, just like with your W, it will stop at the first enemy champion hit, deal damage, slow, and it gets a big nice crit at the end for the grand finale. Jin's kit is what I believe to be one of the most flavorful kits in the entire game, and I love it for that. Now, being in the mid lane doesn't really change much of how he builds. You still want to take fleet for the healing, and because movement speed is everything. Honestly, any of the section options are fine. Bloodline because Jhin doesn't need tenacity or attack speed, and coup de grace because it makes your 4th shot even more glorious. Then for our secondary tree, we're going to take Celerity and Nimbus Cloak because we're going Flash Ghost, baby. Honestly, his items don't really change either. Storm Rager for that maxing of the movement speed. You used to take Gale Force, but that's gone in like 5 days, so we're not even going to mention that. Then just go straight into Rapid Fire or Collector. From there, just get some AD items. Youmu's and Opportunity are possibilities for him moving forward. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. If you're liking the video, give it a thumbs up so other people can see it too, and comment down below with anything that I missed. And that's it. We did it. We're in the game, and we're going to take this dagger and these mixed drinks because art needs some murder and some inspiration to be glorious. From there in lane, we actually, most of the time, we just have a range advantage. A lot of champions in mid lane right now are melee, or you just outrange them naturally, at least with your auto attacks. And in the first 3 levels, you can bully pretty hard because you have a lot of bonus AD, which lets you trade very effectively. And even if you do trade even, fleet will make sure it still's in your favor because you get that healing back. But still be careful because you are still an ADC. Just play safe and play to the side that you're warding so that you know if a enemy gank is coming up. Maybe keep that bush warded, keep the river bush warded so you know all the way up that river. In like mage matchups, you might have a little bit harder of a time, but for assassins pre-6, you are relatively safe. Just poke with your Q, even if you don't get the enhanced damage. If you do get a bounce onto them, just try and hit them with your W the root auto, then just walk away with your fleet. Then once level 6 comes up, you just want to play a bit safer because you can try and kill the enemy laner all the way from under your tower with your ult. Those very long range abilities also makes it easier to roam to other lanes. You don't have to go all the way down. I think we mentioned this before, but you can just be caught out while you're trying to roam and move down. So try and do this carefully when you get the lane pushed up. And honestly, it's easy to follow these steps if you just remember, I'm an ADC. Then just get kills, push lanes, get plates, get towers. Now let's take a look at that mid game. Now from there, we really want to play like an ADC. We can rotate to other lanes to help them once our tower is down, but sign laning isn't going to be our best way to help our team. We can be bursted down from our lack of mobility, so if you do need to go to a side lane, just get a bit of gold, push it out past like the mid section where it's heading towards the enemy towers, and then try not to push past that because it could get really dangerous. Once you do that, just hover around towards mid because you want to be there for fights and objectives. If someone comes to stop your push, just expect that someone else is going to be there too. If you're feeling strong, then you can try and get a key bounce on them, lock them in place, then ult at them to try and kill them, but I would make sure that you know that no one else is coming because once you ult, you are stationary. You are standing in place there. Then, since you are there for fights, objectives, auto attack once and use that big burst of movement speed from your Storm Ranger, Fleet, Ghost, Celerity, Nimbus, and your passive, and make sure you don't get caught. Jhin has a need for speed, because you gonna run circles around them. Still positioned like an ADC, but big time damage dealer, especially against squishy targets. Just Sonic your way around the fight, get those objectives, and get kills. We did it! We won the game, and if you enjoyed this video, check out this one as we play the Satan of League of Legends. Talk to you later!